Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. Today, we will learn vocabulary about school, studying, and learning tools. School is an important place where we learn new things every day. Common school places: classroom, library, playground, cafeteria, laboratory, office, gym, auditorium, computer room, art room. Repeat: classroom, library, playground, cafeteria, laboratory. Repeat: office, gym, auditorium, computer room, art room. You can say, I go to the classroom. Repeat: I go to the classroom. The library has many books. Repeat: the library has many books. I play in the playground. Repeat: I play in the playground. Ask a friend, where do you study? Answer, I study in the classroom. Repeat: where do you study? I study in the classroom. Now let's learn school subjects. Common subjects: English, math, science, history, geography, art, music, physical education, computer, literature. Repeat: English, math, science, history, geography. Repeat: art, music, physical education, computer, literature. You can say, I like English. Repeat: I like English. She studies math every day. Repeat: she studies math every day. He enjoys science. Repeat: he enjoys science. Ask a friend, what is your favorite subject? Answer, my favorite subject is history. Repeat, what is your favorite subject? My favorite subject is history. Combine subjects and times. I study English in the morning. Repeat, I study English in the morning. I have math class at 10 o'clock. Repeat, I have math class at 10 o'clock. I do science experiments in the laboratory. Repeat, I do science experiments in the laboratory. Now let's learn school tools. Common tools: pen, pencil, eraser, notebook, ruler, backpack, book, marker, scissors, glue. Repeat: pen, pencil, eraser, notebook, ruler. Repeat: backpack, book, marker, scissors, glue. You can say, I have a pencil. Repeat: I have a pencil. She uses a notebook. Repeat: she uses a notebook. He writes with a pen. Repeat: he writes with a pen. Ask a friend, do you have a ruler? Answer, yes, I have a ruler. No, I don't have a ruler. Repeat, do you have a ruler? Yes, I have a ruler. Combine tools with actions. I draw with a pencil. Repeat. I draw with a pencil. She erases mistakes with an eraser. Repeat. She erases mistakes with an eraser. He measures with a ruler. Repeat. He measures with a ruler. Now let's learn classroom actions. Actions: read, write, listen, speak. Ask, answer, learn, study, explain, participate. Repeat, read, write, listen, speak, ask. Repeat, answer, learn, study, explain, participate. You can say, I read a book. Repeat, I read a book. I write in my notebook. Repeat, I write in my notebook. She listens to the teacher. Repeat. She listens to the teacher. He speaks English in class. Repeat. He speaks English in class. I ask questions. Repeat. I ask questions. I answer questions. Repeat. I answer questions. I learn new words. Repeat. I learn new words. I study math problems. Repeat. I study math problems. The teacher explains science. Repeat. The teacher explains science. I participate in class. Repeat. I participate in class. Combine school, subjects, and tools. I write English words with a pen in my notebook. Repeat. I write English words with a pen in my notebook. She draws a picture with markers. Repeat. She draws a picture with markers. He measures the desk with a ruler. Repeat. He measures the desk with a ruler. Combine classroom actions and places. I study math in the classroom. Repeat. I study math in the classroom. I read books in the library. Repeat. I read books in the library. We play football in the playground. Repeat. We play football in the playground. Use times. I have art class on Monday. Repeat. I have art class on Monday. I have music class on Wednesday. Repeat. I have music class on Wednesday. Combine subjects, actions, and tools. I write math answers with a pencil. Repeat. I write math answers with a pencil. She draws a beautiful picture in art class. Repeat. She draws a beautiful picture in art class. He reads a story in the library. Repeat. He reads a story in the library. Practice questions. What do you study today? Answer. I study English. I study science today. Repeat. What? Do you study today? I study English. Combine classroom actions with questions. Do you write in your notebook? Answer: yes, I write in my notebook. No, I don't write in my notebook. Repeat: do you write in your notebook? Yes, I write in my notebook. Combine tools and places. I keep my books in my backpack. Repeat: I keep my books in my backpack. I read in the library. Repeat: I read in the library. I draw in the art room. Repeat: I draw in the art room. Combine subjects and actions. I listen to the teacher in English class. Repeat: I listen to the teacher in English class. I solve math problems in math class. Repeat: I solve math problems in math class. I do science experiments in the laboratory. Repeat: I do science experiments in the laboratory. Combine classroom actions and school tools. I write answers. With a pen. Repeat: I write answers with a pen. I draw pictures with crayons. Repeat: I draw pictures with crayons. I erase mistakes with an eraser. Repeat: I erase mistakes with an eraser. Combine classroom actions and frequency. I read books every day. Repeat: I read books every day. I write homework every evening. Repeat: I write homework every evening. I study math twice a week. Repeat: I study math twice a week. Combine questions and subjects. Do you like English? Answer: yes, I like English. No, I don't like English. Repeat: do you like English? Yes, I like English. Do you enjoy science? Answer: yes, I enjoy science. No, I don't enjoy science. Repeat: do you enjoy science? Yes, I enjoy science. Combine school tools and activities. I cut paper with scissors in art class. Repeat: I cut paper with scissors in art class. I glue pictures with glue. Repeat: I glue pictures with glue. I color pictures with markers. Repeat: I color pictures with markers. Combine classroom actions, tools, and places. I write in my notebook in the classroom. Repeat: I write in my notebook in the classroom. She draws in the art room with colored pencils. Repeat: she draws in the art room with colored pencils. Combine questions and frequency. How often do you study English? Answer: I study English every day. I study math 3 times a week. Repeat: how often do you study English? I study English every day. Combine classroom activities and school subjects. I listen to the teacher in history class. Repeat: I listen to the teacher in history class. I read books in literature class. Repeat: I read books in literature class. I do experiments in science class. Repeat, I do experiments in science class. Combine tools and school subjects. I use a calculator in math class. Repeat, I use a calculator in math class. I use a notebook in English class. Repeat, I use a notebook in English class. I use markers in art class. Repeat, I use markers in art class. Combine school activities with friends. I study with my friend in the library. Repeat, I study with my friend in the library. We play football in the playground. Repeat, we play football in the playground. I listen to music in the classroom. Repeat, I listen to music in the classroom. Combine questions, subjects, and tools. Do you use a pen in English class? Answer, yes, I use a pen. No, I don't use a pen. Repeat, do you use a pen in English class? Yes, I use a pen. Do you write in your notebook in math class? Answer, yes, I write in my notebook. No, I don't write in my notebook. Repeat, do you write in your notebook in math class? Yes, I write in my notebook. Combine school actions and daily routine. I go to school at 8 o'clock. Repeat, I go to school at 8 o'clock. I have lunch at 1 o'clock. Repeat, I have lunch at 1 o'clock. I go home at 3 o'clock. Repeat, I go home at 3 o'clock. Combine classroom, tools, and actions. I write English words in my notebook. Repeat, I write English words in my notebook. She draws a picture in her notebook. Repeat, she draws a picture in her notebook. He uses a ruler to draw lines. Repeat, he uses a ruler to draw lines. Combine subjects, actions, and friends. I study English with my friend. Repeat, I study English with my friend. We do science experiments together. Repeat, we do science experiments together. We read books in the library together. Repeat, we read books in the library together. Keep practicing school, studying, and learning tools every day. Thank you for listening, and next time we will learn about transportation, travel, and directions in English.